Hello, my name is Cthulhu Monster. You can call me Cthulhu or Monster. Welcome back to my ATM Let's Play series here on the Pilpo's Patreon server. I am, I think we're episode 14. And last episode, we really looked into getting my some ender tanks up, so I got some oil processing. I've moved my diesel system, and I was really getting started on not getting started, really investigating what I'm going to need for AE2. So in this episode, it's time. Let's start making the components. I can't guarantee I'll hook it up, but let's start making the components and see what we get up to. Before I forget, I am going to put a small diesel system going here. I'm still not sure what I should be doing with all the oils. I'm going to look into some guides on what's the best method for oil. If I should get into the oil cracker now and start looking beyond diesel. But for the moment, we have more than enough items. So let's actually just keep our diesel supply going. I think we're at 5 million upstairs, and we're going to set that up here. So, I guess I'm going to look away. Let's try that. See if I can do that. I'm going to look away and we'll bring it back. All right. Yeah, I tried here. I didn't like how it ended up because I was going to have to import all the stuff through integrated dynamics, and this area is very, it's not very shoved in a corner, so it was just becoming spaghetti. So I actually put the diesel up here. And the way I did this is I've already run through all of my light fuel you can see here, but I basically put my two chemical reactors on either side of these two, the heavy fuel and the light fuel, the sulfuric heavy fuel and the sulfuric light fuel. I now store my hydrogen down here and basically pump it up into these guys, and I'm importing from the sides. This makes the heavy fuel, the light fuel, and the hydrogen sulfide. The heavy fuel and the light fuel get mixed into diesel. We've mixed all of it so far. And yeah, we are back up to over 7,000, what are these things called? 7,000 buckets here. So I'm actually thinking I might put another, I'm thinking putting another super chest back here, super tank. So yeah, and then the hydrogen sulfide here gets electrolyzed, and the hydrogen goes down here, and then also behind, this is my one item offset compared to my last one there, which was the rave. My one item offset here imports that sulfur back into the system. And yeah, I like it so far. Obviously, once I figure out what to do with everything that comes from oil and get an oil processing space, this will definitely switch up. But yeah, I think it works out really well. I took off one of the Delios here and just moved my HV motor combustion engine back here. And we will look at moving that assembler into the next space. Yeah, I know I said this was going to be my auto crafting Delio, but yeah, it just works out a lot better to have this here. And then I'll have to work on finding something that fits down here. Something that can be nice and, work like this, because I really like how this one worked out. But it does depend significantly on integrated dynamics. Our diesel. I was just talking to the Vortex here. He's one of the mod developers for this pack. And he wanted me to just test a few things for the FPS issue from last time. I did update one of the names, Elibrium. I'll put the Delio in there. And it may be... to be honest, today my FPS hasn't been looking as bad. And I'm just kind of testing to see if this has helped out a decent amount. One thing is, like, with these super chests, the brightness is so gosh darn bright that it's a little bit hard for me to it was a little bit hard for me to see what was going on there. But yeah, all right. So this is my new diesel setup. I am still burning more diesel than generating it right now. I did switch to using a mixture now of both my raw oil and my heavy oil here, because my heavy oil does a disproportionate amount of my heavy oil does mostly heavy fuel as the output, and my raw oil is actually more to other items, which could be problematic. But for the moment, we're looking pretty good. So we're going to call that good here and focus on our AE2 system. And that is what we are going to be putting back over in this corner here. So the biggest thing I'm looking at first is I took out the beam here for the integrated dynamics tube here. I get distracted as I look at stuff. And I may end up deciding to put it back for the integrated dynamics. So let me just take a few of these things off of here. And we're going to start first with getting our chlorocertane here, which is going to be a chemical reactor. So I need 1 chemical reactor, 2 chemical, 3. Okay, so let me figure out. I think it's 3 or 4 chemical reactors. All right, so I have an issue right now where if you notice, I'm trying to put some stuff in here. My storage is completely full, so we are definitely at the right time in this. But I need to do a little bit of troubleshooting here. I really do not have much. I do not have much storage left. I can make this one item vault one more bigger as like a fail safe, but I really don't want to. So the first thing, I guess the thing I'm going to do first is go check out the semi-storage building here where we just have the storage drawers. And my tip to figuring out where my problem is avoiding the problem. No, I'm just going to put this on a different interface channel to start, and that'll tell me what's in those storage units versus not. So if I go to 0 and items most, you could see that magnesium dust is 5,000 here. So let's get a drawer for that. And I'm actually going to grab it from back here. What's here? Actually, probably not there. I'm going to turn off my Delio. I'm not putting it there because everything on this line right now is metals. So I'm just going to put it on this one here, which is the random ones for that. All right. And my favorite way to do this stuff is, I think I showed you last episode, is I have a drawer here with 1. And because it's locked in, I can pull everything from the system into this now. And I will get an upgrade for it. So if you're lazy like me, that's one way you can get your stuff to scan through things. So we're looking for 0 here, and I just want to get the next thing. So it's going to be silver dust, which I definitely know doesn't have a dealio. So, excellent. So we'll put this there. And just going to make sure my priority on this, yeah, my priority on this is 10,000, which tells you I really would like it to go here first. And then silver dust, do I have silver ingots yet? Platinum, copper, stainless steel, silver. Nope, manganese and magnesium. Oh, there's my differences. All right. Ba-da-ba-ba. All right, so just by getting that silver dust and the magnesium and the silver out, I should have enough space here. So I'm going to put this back on 0 here. And I decided earlier on to switch those into the same interface as everything else because I kept forgetting which ones to import stuff off of. So that's my reasoning. Nothing too fancy about it. But yeah, now I can put some storage in here because I've removed a lot. Well, in here, I'm going to take advantage and put the Certus dust all in a drawer as well, because that I will actually then put up at the whatchamacallit. I like to be able to visually see what my amount I have left is in the system, so that's why previously you also saw the oil sands here. It's just nice to see. So let's get the logic cable in place and work through this. So it's going to be pretty straightforward, I think, compared to what we had the last round with getting those. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so the way I'm going to do this first is lay out kind of my processing here. I could think of it with signs. I don't know if I have a sign at all, but kind of like what I need to bring in, what I need to remove. So I'm just gonna kind of talk you through it. Let's see how that goes first. So right now I'm just gonna put the advanced reactors here, assuming that these will be the ones I'm working with. We will say, okay, our Certus dust here has an advanced reactor. We will use this with hydrochloric acid, which let's get a drum in place to hold that. You want a drum or a super tank? A drum should be fine. I know I have some empty ones over here. I probably should start emptying some of these things. All right. I'm gonna grab some hydrochloric acid from downstairs. All right, here we go. And our oxygen's doing pretty good right now, so I could keep this one running, but I think I'm gonna hold out until I see this drop much more significantly. Yeah, same with circuits, we got enough of those items. All right, so we got the reactor here. Oop, I just automatically had it start draining, so I'll try not to waste those 16 buckets here. So this reactor here will create us our trichloride, our trichlorocertane here. And now we are going to put that in another chemical reactor and get one solid coming out of it and one liquid. So let's put this down here. Let's see, let's get another chest, a drawer. And right now I'm using the oak one, which is not the one I have on demand. Maybe I'll consider moving to those ones. So this will create a fluid and an item. So I got two outputs there. Now, and okay, so this will create a fluid and an output. So this isn't going to quite work here. So if you notice right now, I have it where it doesn't go anywhere for the fluid. It just straight, sorry, it only has one side output, so I need it to have another item on the side. So let's look at what happens with the Certus here. These can go to a laser engraver or a lathe. It looks like Certus rods. Doesn't seem like a useful thing. Okay, so it looks like the Certus here can go to a laser engraver for flawless. Let's take a look at that later. A compactor and a macerator back into Certus dust. Oh, interesting. So what's the difference here? So it's 3 to 1. Okay, so kind of like a recycling faction here. So if it does do that, let's plan then to move this over here. So the dust itself is fine there. Oh, and then I immediately destroy the hydrochloric acid. That's why you don't do that. All right, so if my dust is here, and out of a laser engraver I get more dust. So let's leave a... Do we have something that could be used for a blank space here? Let's just go with... I want to make sure I don't accidentally grab something that has gravity attached, because that is a pain when you do that. So I'm going to grab a mineral thing here just for a temporary piece. Oh, I didn't need it to be that type of thing. All right, so this is my laser engraver. That's what I'm going to try to visualize there. So now I'm going to put my advanced reactor here. And I need my item to... Oh, not my advanced generator. My chemical reactor. So I'm going to need to pull materials from my Certus dust here and put it into the reactor. So let's see if I have any... Oh my gosh, the birds are loud today. I have some small tin item pipes from my auto crafting. So I'm going to put that here because I will be able to put a conveyor module to pull things from the drawer on here. So that's that circuit. And this will discharge the item this way to get redone. And then I need another one here for the liquid. So yeah, kind of what I'm working around. One moment. I like birds, but I'm gonna get that down. Oh, nice. It's a visual. I didn't realize that. Let's turn them to 25. Yeah, it's much better. These walls have insulation. I don't need them screaming in my ears. All right, so that puts us back at the dichlorocertane here. So let's see what we do with this one. So this goes through a chemical reactor for 2 pieces. So this is where we get the chlorocertane and the Certus trichloride. Okay, so we'll have 2 liquids from this. And the chlorocertane, let's see what we do with that. Turns into, okay, so it's like a weird mixture of a lot of everything. Goes, okay, so we get certane and the dichlorocertane, so it goes backwards, 1. And then if we look back at here, we'll see that Certus trichloride here. Let's look at what's that. So we can electrolyze that back down into Certus dust and get the chlorine back. Okay, so really the only thing we've really added to this thing is the hydrogen. And we've got another thing of Certus out of here. Okay, intriguing. Trying not to think of it from a chemistry background. We're gaining matter. It's fine. This will be great. All right, so this one here is a circular loop. Let's get some signs on these so I write down the chemicals because this is going to be a little bit of a mess. I like the brighter signs. Okay, so this one is our trichloro here. That is the result of it. So nothing from a liquid standpoint wants to go back in here. This specifically is only hydrochloric acid and nothing else. So we can be safe that I don't need to route any of this stuff back into the Certus dust path. So I got this here. Now when I'm looking at the next one, which is the dichlorocertane, this one here has 2 liquids that come out of it. So it would need to process both the chlorocertane and the Certus one. So we will need to have a pipe, a fluid pipe. And since there are 2 outputs, so there's an option here. We can do 1 chemical reactor here and 1 chemical reactor on the other side if both of them use chemical reactors. So let's take a look there first. So with the dichloride here, Certus requires an electrolyzer, so I'll just need an electrolyzer for this. And I am planning on running this all in MB because that is what I have the superconductors for, and I have a decent amount of MB stuff. So this one goes into 2 fluids, and one of those has the Certus dust as a machine it needs to go into. So with that, the Certus dust here almost feels like I need an item pipe that goes directly to Certus dust. The Certus dust renewal line or something. I don't know if that's a real, that's not what I plan on naming anything, but basically I need something that carries Certus dust back to the, what is it called, back to my storage unit here. So this all is what I'm planning on sending only in this direction. All right. And this one goes into this system that is making the 2 types of fluids. So if I put the electrolyzer here, I was having difficulty before getting this to screen itself. It was just fighting. Basically, when I'm trying to use the filtering, I haven't had good luck with the fluid filters in RegTech yet. So currently I'm thinking, let's just check to see if the chlorocertane here can go into an electrolyzer, which it can. So I'm going to want a super tank there then, unfortunately, because I can lock that. And I say unfortunately because I don't have a ton of super tanks. So if I want a super tank on this before it goes, okay, so I put a super tank down. This will control what goes to my electrolyzer here. And this is where I'm going to put the chlorotetro one. because that one is the one that also when it recycles, what else comes out of that one? So I go in here and I electrolyze, sorry, do the chemical reactor and I electrolyze this. I'm actually also going to get chlorine gas. So I do need my chlorine gas to be here. And I actually have a super tank for that already, which, cool. Oh, I'm Starbucks star. All right. So which one is this? Chlorine gas. Excellent. We will take it. All right. So now I know that this one is going to create a chlorine gas, and it's also going to create something that wants to go back to the dichloro here. So how do I get a good round about here? This really wants to be flipped, actually, I think, where the chlorine, this output here, one of those fun ones where you're trying to like mentally just kind of think about how you want to go here. Okay, so if we get the chlorotetra, this one will output, and the way I do think about a lot of this is I kind of have to mentally talk about this. Okay, so this one doesn't actually go back. Okay, so Certus dust and chlorine gas. So this one will have this connector here. Oop, not that. It's not going to go back. So it's going to have an item and a gas. So this is my gas connection, which is great. And now we will look at the next bit, which is the chlorocertane. And this one with its chemical reactors makes both of these. So it reacts with nothing. Is there something missing in here? But we'll run it and see what's happening there. Okay, so this one is just the chloro something. Mad signs. Needs more signs. All right. Okay, and this one has stuff that wants to go backwards and stuff that wants to go forward into the next step. So I'm going to put a pipe here. So it'll go back, shutter it so it only goes in this direction. So that'll circle that one back. And then this will now go, the chloro here, certane, will turn into my certane. And my certane is what I need to put into this chemical vapor Okay. So let's make one of those. So that will be my end product here. Vapor. Let's try to pronounce it. The Advanced Chemical Vapor Depositor. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Just being stubborn about it. Okay, so I need some MV emitters, which thankfully I did cut a few more of those. Do I need it? Which version do I need? So to make this, it is an MV. So I am going to make the MV version of this, not the HV. So with this, I also need the small stainless steel fluid pipe. That's not too bad. Stainless steel here. I'm just going to make it with the wrench and the hammer here because I'm too lazy to go downstairs to the machines. I'll take the durability on my stuff. It's not too bad. This one has mending. All right, so we'll toss that in there. I'll do one more. And I'll clear this, make this guy. All right, so all of these are MV, and that is excellent. So then this will be my certane. Yay! So with certane, sorry, this will actually be my Certus Boule. And that is an item, so I could put this in an item machine. So yeah. Is there any reason for me to keep the liquid? Is what I am curious about. So not really. I'm not seeing too much here. Certane with the item wafer is needed here, so I'm going to need to put the item wafers up there as well. So let's grab another drawer and get, oh, not an item wafer, a silicon wafer, I believe. I wonder what these things make. Oh, that's, yeah, the pearlescent frog lights. I forgot about that. That's what I was going to do. And let's get the silicon wafers, which I have way too many of. You know, sometimes I think I talked about it, that I spent like 4 hours making wafers, which is why, not 4 hours, 7 hours, which made me laugh a lot. All right, so there we go. Here's these guys. And that's where I'll have my storage for those too, because why not? All right, and then this will be the, well, I don't want all of them to go in here. If I have, once I have AE2, I'll have a limit emitter or whatnot on there to make sure I'm not doing all of them in there. But for the moment, we'll stick with this. I'll just feed this. This will be my way of controlling how many of these things I want. Let's make 128 first. All right, so this is the process. So that's kind of my madness on what I do there and how I plan these out. So let's see about power. And are we able to write on these now? Excellent. So that's perfect. So I need this machine here as well. So let's see here. I got the, oh my gosh. It was at this time I realized two things. One, I didn't record the last bit. I did get an advanced macerator here when I realized that it wasn't anything lasery. I was distracted over here by that vapor one but anyway, I got a macerator here. And then I also realized I've been recording with the fan on. I'm sorry. Hopefully my audio is better from here on. I just completely blanked on that. And now yeah, I'm sorry about that. All right, so I've moved my Certus over one, and I made another advanced chemical reactor. I did move the stuff through the whole line here, the one that I did already have in there, and that is what I'm seeing. I'm off. All right, so this one is going to be Certus plus da 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 Certus plus HCl. All right, so this is my final layout. I've added a chemical reactor up here to make hydrochloric acid, and this is limited by how much, enters here. I probably should consider placing. I'm just debating right now. Right now, my salt that I had down here, I was making more hydrochloric acid down here, is pretty limited, so I only have about 84 buckets for everything else. But I think for the moment, I'm going to be okay with that until, and I'll just keep an eye on it. But what I've done with this chemical reactor here is this provides its own circuit here. So the hydrogen gas and the chlorine gas that the system is making or taking out of what's already been made has a way to circle back around. So I just had that disabled so you guys can see how it operates. And yeah, so I have, you could follow it. It's fun. This one has some stuff that goes back. I painted some pipes orange, some black. I don't really have a reason for why I picked which ones, but I like it. I am kind of keeping an eye here on this Certus to see how low it goes, or if it does drop lower, because that's just something I'm curious on. For the wafers, yeah, I've been working on that. I got 4 of them so far, and yeah, I think this looks pretty good. All right, so this video has definitely gotten longer than I planned. I haven't really talked about how I powered everything in here, and I just wanted to show that I'm starting to bring a power cord of MV through this side of the workshop, and I'm using the superconductor, which I really appreciate folks reminding me of. And you can see that the amperage per just even the one is 4. So I used a little bit of the tricks to switch between two times or one times wire, because this stuff is a pain to make, and I would love to talk to you guys through my wiring here. This is probably overkill, as these machines aren't all on at once. And yeah, this has run for about a day now, and we actually went through all of our hydrochloric acid here, and I have 14 Certus Bules, which should be enough for a long time. So these actually get cut down into 16 each. So I did put a pause on this machine, but I am loving it, and I think it's going to be a great resource to have. But yeah, the power right now that I haven't really talked about is I did put up a gas turbine here, which the trick is if you are having an issue, I needed to use an EV router instead of an HV one for the moment. And I basically have a small battery buffer up here for the high voltage, and then it transforms down to MV here. So I could run a high voltage line down one side as well. But yeah, I can go more in depth on this, and I probably will go more in depth when we do a power episode. But right now we're concentrating on AE2. So thank you so much for your patience, and I kind of walked you through this. So hopefully that was helpful. I know I really enjoy talking while doing, so I've considered trying to figure out how to do streams for when I do these systems. Um, I have to do the rubber ducky method. That's just the only way I can think of it. And now we have this cute little balcony here for all of my jumping off of things needs. And yeah, uh, I think we can start to close it out here. We've got enough footage. So yeah, thank you for joining me for this last episode. I had a lot of fun with this one. I really was excited to get some more progress on some items and kind of explain my thought process on making a nice compact machine. I'd love to see or hear about what you guys have been doing for these types of processes. And yeah, my name is Cthulhu Monster. I'm playing here on Tilpo's Patreon server. I hope you have a great one. Thank you. Bye.